So you lost 17 pounds in 14 days?
Yes, I did.
What's going on? It's Coach Brian sitting with my buddy Coach Chris here from Criticalbench.
That's right.
Welcome to the Criticalbench channel.
And Strong by Design.
Yeah, if you didn't know, we have a podcast called Strong by Design. So go to iTunes right now, Stitcher, Podbean, Overcast, wherever you get your podcast from. Search Strong by Design, and that is our podcast. Chris and I are one of the hosts. Tanya's a host. Mike jumps on there. And we interview awesome guests from all over the world, all different walks of life. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, check that out. And while you're checking that out, make sure you check out Facebook, Instagram. We're all over the place.
Yes.
So
we're in many places.
Speaking of many places, that's a poor segue. But I want Chris to tell you, yes, you, how he lost 17 pounds in 14 days.
Yes, I did.
So this is going to be something that's extreme. It is extreme, by the way. It might not be.
It's uncomfortable.
Well, yeah. It's. I would even say it's life changing.
It is.
It'll change
Gives
mentally.
You new perspective on things for sure.
It might not be for everybody.
Correct.
I'm not going to say it might. It's definitely not for everybody.
Yeah. Wasn't for my wife.
Yeah. There's some people that
she gave it a go and it was not working for her.
Yeah.
She made it past 24 hours. Anyway, so I probably should tell them what the heck we're talking about, right?
Cat's out of the bag, kind of. the tail is out of the bag.
So there's, I'm sure anyone watching, you've probably heard of fasting on some level in your life, whether it was intermittent fasting. I mean, we use the word all the time in the word break fast. And that's your first meal of the day after you've gone a period of time without eating, right? So we don't eat while we're sleeping, unless you're sleepwalking, right?
Or you're one of those weird people that sets an alarm at like 2 a.m.
and like gets up and drinks a protein shake or something.
Downs cottage cheese or.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're trying to gain weight, that's a good way to go. So what I wanted to do, and honestly, I was encouraged to do this from Mike Westerdahl, the founder of Criticalbench, who came across this program and was interested in doing it, and we discussed it at length, and I said, yeah, I'll do it with you. Let's go for it. And so at some point down the road, you'll actually see we're going to do a podcast with the creator of the program, Elliott Hulse from strengthcamp, and it's called the Rational Fasting Challenge. And
I'd actually click this banner up here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you don't have time to watch this video, at least click the banner to get more information about that.
Yeah. It's quite foreign to me in terms of, yes, I've dabbled in intermittent fasting before, right? I've gone stretches, hours without food, but never a whole day and never 3 days at a time consecutively, over a period of 14 days. But I was ready for a reset. And I think for a lot of us, that's kind of what it takes in order to establish new disciplines, new habits, and maybe lose urges and cravings for things. We need to do something radical. Otherwise, we don't ever really, nothing gets our attention. It's really hard. People struggle all the time with restrictive diets, cutting certain foods out of their daily diet altogether, and that only will last for so long, right? And then you come back to those foods eventually, and then whatever weight that was lost just comes right back. But why I did this challenge was really to kind of reset my baseline, to bring me from where I was to a new place where I can now stay at that new place.
Yeah, looking back
with new habits.
Looking back now, I think I would be safe to say that you and Mike just went into it just like we're going to lose some weight.
Right.
But what you gained out of it, incredible weight loss, but the mental.
Yeah.
I want to say you lost old habits. Habits were changed. So talk.
Yeah. So I think number one is, we have food addictions. I know I do, right? I have an addiction or affinity for certain carbohydrates in my diet. And those are usually the foods that do the most harm.
Yeah.
Because they're eaten in the most quantity. And it's not so much. I mean, yes, certainly some fried fats need to be omitted, and or at least irregularly eaten. And protein's not really hurting anybody. You know what I mean? It's the carbohydrates. It's the abundance of carbohydrates and the types of carbohydrates in our diet, processed carbs. And what's really interesting is over a 2-week period, a 14-day period, I'll give you the details of exactly how I ate over those 14 days, but carbs were really not part of the picture for 14 days. And so what you start to remove from your diet, you start to also lose the urge for and the cravings for, believe it or not. We have this, like if you're a cereal eater, right? And it's really hard for somebody who eats like a cold cereal or even a hot cereal in the morning to like not eat that. Maybe they can go a day without it, but then they're like, I really need that. Like how many times do people, when they talk about food, like I need this, I need to eat that.
That's exactly what the food industry wants you to do, is to reconsume their products. That's and they lace most of mainstream products with certain ingredients that will trigger hormonal responses to get you to eat those foods again.
That's right.
All those artificial sweeteners will reprogram your brain saying, I need that. It tricks your mind. And saying,
this makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to eat it.
It elicits a hormonal response, like I said, to release a happy effect, I'm not satisfied effect, where I need more.
Right.
And people become physically and mentally addicted to certain foods.
Yeah.
Carbohydrates are usually the main source.
I mean, those have been the killer for me, and keeping me at a weight 220 plus for several years now. And it's been on my heart to reset my weight and get to a body composition that I preferred. So I was all in on this challenge, not knowing, exactly how hard it was going to be. So the first day, I'm already a mess, and Mike and I were like kind of laughing. We actually went for a walk, because you don't want to be too aggressive. That's another side of it, right? If you're training heavy, if you're exercising all the time, 5-6 days a week, you gotta, go light to moderate with your exercise habits, at least early on, to let your body adapt to this lack of nutrition, right? Lack of food. And so that first day is like your emotional day. Like you're emotional about not being able to eat. You feel so hungry, and yet no food is coming in, right? You're drinking water. You're putting electrolytes in your water. You're drinking black coffee. You can have tea.
I mean, here.
Some of the things you can actually use some apple cider vinegar in your water, which is actually this helped with putting flavor in something at the very least, and it helps detoxify your body.
Literally, this was your lifeline for 14 days.
Yeah.
Hold that.
Yeah, a lot of water was consumed. This is 2.2 liters, and I would drink 2 of these every single day.
You got your ketone strips.
Yeah, the Check My Pee ketone strips. And I went ketogenic. Mike and I both, within 3 to 4 days, we were testing in the small to moderate range for keto. And then you just keep, you kind of test it as often as you want. But I was pretty certain that whole process we were ketogenic because we were like 0 to no carbohydrates. Had these LaCroix and the bubbly club sodas, because these are this has no artificial flavor or anything in it. It's just carbonated water. And then this was some of the electrolytes we had, and then these as well. I actually preferred this. This powder here is just a blend at like GNC or something, and it was okay, but quite chalky. But this is a electrolyte concentrate, 0 calorie, and this is liquid, and you just put like 2 tablespoons in a water about that size, and that way at least you're getting some of those minerals that your body really needs. Otherwise, you're going to really feel like crap.
So what was like over the course of 14 days? You didn't consume food. It wasn't like a 14-day water only fast.
Yeah.
Quickly, just give them.
Yeah, let's go through. So the first day is your emotional day, no food, just the things that I showed you there. The second day, also nothing, but pure liquid, water, black coffee, tea, club soda, electrolytes, stuff like that. The third day, now that was an exciting day for me. I was actually I was at Busch Gardens that day with my brother and our kids, and I knew I was going to be able to eat that day. Total ketogenic meal though, no carbs, protein and fat, right? But you're coming into 72 hours without any food, right? So you have to break your gut back in a little bit. You can't just go and just start consuming a bunch of food. It won't sit right. You'll probably feel like crap. So to get your digestive juices going, you drink bone broth to help you break your fast. And so I actually brought a thermos with me to Busch Gardens with 24 ounces of chicken bone broth, right, nice and hot, right? I poured it right into a thermos, and so it was like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, here we are, baby.
Started salivating.
Salivating. I'm so excited. I opened my thermos, and I realized the bone broth's still too hot to drink. So I'm like, no.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. It was like torture because I had to wait like another almost half an hour to even drink the bone broth because it was just so hot. And so, but once I took a sip and I was like, oh, I can drink this now. It was delightful.
Yeah.
I mean, it tasted like, bone broth is really just like if it had chicken noodle soup but took all the pieces out. No noodles, no chicken pieces. Just
spices. And
I did put some extra sea salt in it, which is highly recommended when you're doing this, is to do some, like sea salt and stuff, to add to that bone broth. And so that I drank that really fast. Once it was a good temperature, like in 10 minutes, I drank it. And I felt immediately better. And then we went and got food. And what I got was 2 half-pound burgers with some blue cheese crumbles and bacon. And that was what I ate.
Right now.
Yeah, it was. It was fantastic. And then I felt the rest of the day, the rest of the night felt amazing. The next day, I really felt so much better by that. So that would have been really the fourth day, right? Felt really pretty good that whole fourth day.
Well, because you're used to it.
Yeah,
you knew what to expect.
So now your mental game is you're getting mentally accustomed to like going these long stretches with no food. And so the emotional, moments are kind of behind you a little bit. And now you're starting to kick into that ketogenic, your body's starting to re-gear and like shift over to burning fat for fuel. But that Friday, so then in that next, now I'm in my second day of no eating, right? By that Friday night, I was starting to struggle again. So now I'm like 48, 50 plus hours into no food, and certainly had some real strong hunger pangs, just really fighting the urge. So this is where that discipline and that ability to...
It's that mental toughness.
It is the mental toughness thing, and realizing like I know I can do this. It's just I got to just drink what I know I can drink and just go to bed. So what was great? I was turning the TV off or disconnecting from social channels and stuff a lot earlier and getting more sleep. So I actually slept a lot more during this 2-week process because when you're sleeping, you're not thinking about eating. And I did have one dream. I'll share this with you. I had a dream. It was actually a nightmare that I was eating in my dream. And I woke up. I was like, no. Oh, it was a dream. So I thought I had I thought I broke my fast prematurely in my dream. So Saturday, the first weekend, so our first day was a Monday, right? So we're into our first weekend now. And on the weekends, you can eat. You can eat Saturday and you can eat Sunday. You can eat Saturday, you can have up to 50 carbs in your meal. And on Sunday, you want to go back heavy keto. So really kind of carb elimination, high fat with moderate protein, right?
But it's not, the 50 carbs wasn't like waffles and Pop-Tarts.
No, so this is what we did. So Mike and I got together that day, brought the kids over, and we had a family day over at his house, and we were really excited about this. So we made a whole menu for this. And what we want to do is you can spread your eating over a period of hours on this day, right? And that's really the smart way to do it anyway, right? You don't want to gorge yourself in like 20 minutes and be done. So again, we had the bone broth to break our fast. Then we had a salad, very smart salad with oil and vinegar, very low carb salad, just, romaine, probably, I think cucumber, and then some peppers, red, green, and yellow peppers. And that was our salad. And it was a delicious salad with some Himalayan sea salt and some cracked pepper in there. And then we waited a little longer. So now bone broth, waits a little bit, 30, 45 minutes. Salad, wait a little bit, 30, 45 minutes. Then we had fillets, a nice like 8-ounce fillet. And then we had salmon fillet. And then we had an avocado. And so that was our main meal. So very, very keto friendly right there, right? So very, very minimal carbs for that. So we saved our carbs for the last feeding inside this like 4-hour window. And then we had 1 scoop of sugar-free vanilla ice cream with some heavy whipping cream and some fruit of choice. I had a peach with a couple of berries, and then Mike had like blueberries, raspberries, stuff like that. And so that was our treat, and so we stayed under our 50 carb max. It felt amazing, felt fantastic. We come into Sunday, still felt pretty good energy-wise all day, and then we Mike and I got together again because we actually had a work-related thing here, and then we went out and we had pulled pork and ribs that night.
Right.
So that was it. We had no sides or anything with it. It was just strictly meat. And then so now we're into our second week. So again, we went Monday to. I followed the same. So there's different ways to do it the second week. But the way I did it was I just kind of repeated the first week.
Yeah, and in Elliott's plan, he gives you pretty much exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah, he gives you specifics in there. He tells you day by day how you're going to feel, what you should be doing on this particular day, and then there are different approaches to this. I know, I did it the way I thought I could get through it the best, and then so I made it through the second week. The second week was certainly easier than the first week. But certainly by that Friday, on the second,
I remember we were filming, and you're like, I need to eat. Like I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I need to get back. I mean, you held on to it, but
I did. So what I ended up doing, instead of going another 72-hour stretch, coming into the second weekend, I actually broke my fast that Friday night. Because I knew that Saturday, and you have to do what's best for you based on your lifestyle. I knew that Saturday I had a kid's birthday party to go to with my children in the morning, and then I had actually a dinner planned with some friends late that night, like a late reservation, like 8:30. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna make it through the whole Saturday until 8:30 at night without any food, and then that's when I get to eat. So I actually broke my fast the Friday night before, but then was very smart about what I did on Saturday and really saved all my food intake for the end of the day.
Yeah.
Still did bone broth and stuff like before we left the house for the date, and so I had to manipulate that last weekend a little bit, but it worked in my favor, and I lost 17. I went from 220 plus to my lowest weight was 203. So
that's 17 pounds, by the way.
Yes.
That's a big. That's almost
huge
10% of your body.
Yeah.
Roughly 8%. Maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, it was not easy. It really wasn't. There were stretches where it felt better and tolerable, but it was an absolute mental game. But you know what? The discipline, and I was really proud of myself that I committed to something and I was able to see it through, and just fight through the hunger and not let food dominate me and control me and my actions.
Well, I think one of your biggest support was Mike, because Mike was doing the same thing. And
that's no doubt.
Would you have done this if Mike didn't do it?
Probably not.
You probably would have started,
and I would have folded early.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would have probably thrown in the towel way early. But Mike and I were, really cheering each other on. A lot of late night texts like, dude, we got it, no problem, like just go to bed, and we were really supporting each other the whole way through
and
it.
Your spouses and kids, everybody was aware of this because when you fast, you do go through an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
And some people, I've known people that have fasted that they become an emotional train wreck. They're angry, they're violent, they're depressive.
Yeah.
It's just because your body's trying to reset, and it's so dependent on food as its source of fuel, not the fat of your body, that the body doesn't know what to do, so people freak out.
Yeah, my wife was actually really concerned that I was going to be like hangry Chris for like 2 weeks, and I wasn't. I mean, I fought it and I controlled it, and I knew, I'm like, it's what a disservice I am as a husband and a dad if I can't like keep it together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I actually was also proud of myself for being able to maintain my civil type behavior with my family. Not, I get irritable just like anybody else when you're hungry, right? And you're stuck in traffic or you're in a long line for something, you can snap at people. You can, and I didn't want to be that guy for a 2-week period. So I was very happy that I wasn't, and I was able to control my reaction to things. It's just what a process it was. And I do feel like, I don't know that I'll do a full 14-day version of it again necessarily, but I can definitely see myself using days at a time when I feel like I need to kind of reset something. Lose. Yes, the weight loss is cool, and that was definitely some of the interest in it initially, but I think a lot of it too is just like habit forming things, breaking habits that
addictions,
aren't, addictions that aren't benefiting you or working in your favor. And so, and you can do it. I mean, now I think like going 24 hours without eating is like a joke to me. I mean, it's going to be hard for anybody who's never done it before, but geez, not eating for a day, geez, I can do that. I mean, that's no problem.
You look at food a whole different way. You look at food as fuel.
Right.
Purely fuel.
Right.
It's not entertainment, it's not pleasure, it's not just something you do with your friends and family. It's just it is literal. It's food. It's calories. It's nutrients.
I was associating like anything in my life that I did that was enjoyable, there was always a food part to it. Like going to the movies. Well, the movie's not fun if there's not popcorn and a soda, right? Going out, with friends. Well, where are we gonna eat? I mean, everything's always like,
or what am I gonna drink?
Food. Or what am I gonna drink? Yeah, good. Alcohol consumption. So obviously, I didn't drink. I think even since
you said you had 2 light beers.
I had 2 beers the second weekend.
Right,
so Mike and I didn't drink at all that first weekend, and then the second weekend I had 2 beers. Boy, did they taste good. I mean, they tasted generally.
Beer tastes good anytime.
Yeah, but there was a flavor there. I had a 2 Stella Artois, and it's a nice lighter beer, but it tasted so sweet to me because I hadn't had beer in a couple of weeks. And then since then, I think I've only had 1. Just because now I'm so much more conscious of the carbohydrates in my life. I'm really like thinking about it. Like, do I need that right now? Or can I like not have that carb right now? Because for me, that's my struggle. And if I want to keep my weight down and I want to change my body composition and lean out a little bit more, I need to go more fat and more lean meats. I say healthy fats, right? And then meats. Not necessarily even lean meats. Like I want to be more ketogenic in my life. Yeah. Not necessarily I'm testing my urine every day to see if I am.
So that's a great segue into our channel. We have a lot of keto videos. So subscribe to our channel. Go back and search. You can actually search within our channel. There's a little magnifying glass that you click. You enter in whatever you want. Diet, keto, stretching, glutes, you name it. You can search, and all of our videos on that topic will come up. So please use us as a resource to help you with your goals, your weight loss, your muscle gain, whatever. We're here to help you. And if you want to learn more about Elliott's program, you can click this banner up here, but we're also going to put the link in the video description area underneath this video.
Check that below.
It's not for everybody. It's intense, but it is guaranteed to give you results. It might not give you the exact results you're hoping for, but it will give you something positive. And in any event, it's going to help change your mental process of how you view food, how your body metabolizes food. And I know for a fact fasting, I've never done a fast like that, but I know fasting, you read these documentaries or watch these documentaries of fasting cures diseases. Yeah. Fasting resets.
It's been around for ages.
Yeah.
I mean, for millennia.
Biblical. It's purely biblical of, the atonement for sins, preparing for Passover, things like that. Like there's power.
But look, even like Plato. Who doesn't know who Plato is?
Right.
Do some research on that. Actually, Elliott talks quite a lot about Plato, and obviously he was known for his brilliance here, but he was actually also known for his athleticism and his physical abilities. Very athletic type person, and he attributes a lot of his mental and physical abilities to his fasting.
Well, there's no restrictions. You can think clearly because when you're digesting food, we all get there like, man, we're tired.
Yeah.
The reason why we're tired is because there's less activity up here and more activity down here.
Right.
If you're fasting, everything, the brain is on hyperdrive.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually utilizing more of your neurons and more of your brain to get stuff done.
I mean, just think about it for this one reason. Give your digestive system a break, a nice long break, and let your gut just detoxify and cleanse. I mean, I was still, and not to get too graphic, but I was still going to the bathroom, moving my bowels days after I had eaten.
And you're like, I haven't eaten anything.
I haven't eaten in 48 hours. Where's this coming from? Well, you don't think there's still stuff going on there? Absolutely there is, but it was almost like I feel like a renovation going on, or a restoration.
Yeah, there you go.
Where my gut was just kind of like, I just got to like clean house right now. There's nothing new coming in, so let's deal with what's in here.
Let's get rid of it.
So you're getting rid of some of this other stuff that's clinging and stuck in there. And I'm not trying to sound gross, but it absolutely has its benefits.
Goes through a big system. So that's it. We're out of time. Hopefully you found this helpful. I know you're going to have comments or questions, so please engage with us underneath this video, underneath the video in the comments section. I know, drop your comments, questions, and we're going to have more of these videos where we just talk and share more about what we do on a personal basis away from the camera, because we're just like you. We're humans. We're not perfect. We try to get this thing called life. We try to get some grip on it, but just like you, we need other resources, we need help, we need accountability. So we're just sharing Chris's experience, his success, and that's it. Hopefully you apply something he learned. And again, check out Elliott's program, Rational Fasting, in the description area. Underneath this video, there's a link to get more information about his product. And that's it.
That's it. Thank you so much for watching.
Have an awesome day.